Hi, I'm gonna do another underrated films. I started it and I stopped it because I thought I was including a movie that I had already included, and I apparently have not. So, yeah. First movie is On Golden Pond. This one, I have no idea why people don't talk about it. It's like I don't know. It's great. It's Henry Fonda in this movie is hard and heartbreaking to watch because I mean he's hilarious. I mean, the movie he's so funny, but it's because he died 4 months after it was done. So watching him, I'm like, oh, he was so great, but then I know that he passed away like not too long after. It's kind of sad. But it says he and Katharine Hepburn had great chemistry. They were funny together. They were both hilarious because one thing, Katharine was hilarious. So yeah, I mean, she was no, he played in a lot of comedy and she was just funny. Like that was just who she was. Henry Fonda, I've only seen him in dramas except for like the Lady Eve. Yeah. um, with Boris Stanwyck, and that was a comedy, and that was funny, and I like that. But I haven't seen him in comedy. I have seen him, like I said, in dramas. So I'm not too familiar with his, except for Lady Eve, where he's funny and that. That's the only comedy I've seen him in, I believe. I don't know. I have seen him in something else, but I just don't remember. But for the most part, I only know him as a dramatic actor. So but I didn't know he was funny. I had no idea, and he was so funny, and um, his humor just came from I think himself. Honestly, I think it just came from him because he was kind of over things by that time in his life. Like he was kind of grouchy, like his character, and he was kind of just like angry all the time. I mean, not really angry, just mad, annoyed at the fact that he was old. Like, and he hated the fact that he was old so much because he limited him to what he could do, and he didn't like that. He didn't like having to rely on other people to kind of help him do things. So that got on his nerves when people wanted to help him. He didn't want help. Um, he had a heart problem, heart condition. He died of heart failure. So, he needed help. He was getting older. He needed help with certain things. But he just didn't want to admit to needing it. So he was kind of irritated all the time. But it translated well in the movie, and he was funny. He was very sweet with Catherine. I love that. And I love that he made up with his daughter Jane Fonda, even though they made up after not talking for years. So that's good. The whole movie is just kind of a history and things like it's like Henry's last movie. It was the first time Kathleen and Henry worked together or met at all. Um, it was the first time that Catherine let go of Spencer. Like she kept always talked about him, and then the director asked her to stop and focus on Henry, and so she did. And she gave Henry Switcher's favorite fishing hat. So it was kind of like her moving on a little bit, and Jane and Henry made up. So it's kind of this, like they said, the best in the movie. They said everything good happens on Golden Pond, and apparently so. Apparently it's true. So just very very good. Obviously, I recommend it. Next is Beautiful. This movie's ridiculous. I have to admit. I watched it when I was little, a lot, and I still love it so much. Obviously, it's on the list, on the list. But it's good, kind of a weird plot. I'm not gonna tell you the plot, but it's weird. Um, and a lot of it, I'm like, how do they even pull that off? But it's funny, it's sweet, it's kind of sad in some moments. It's just really, really nice. Many drivers sing Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow, and that's my favorite cover of that song. It's not performed that well, but it's the first cover of it that I heard, and I love her version. I think it's pretty. I don't think it's she has that strongest voice ever, but I think that her voice fit the song a lot. I don't like the dance. The dance is kind of awkward. I don't understand why there was a dance for it. It was kind of weird. But the song, the way she sang it, I love it. My favorite. I've heard a lot of covers of it, and Minnie's is always my favorite. Always gonna be my favorite, I think. Next is Miss Potter. This came out in when? Came out. I don't know. 2006. So this movie is not old. It's not that old at all, and it's the one that I don't hear anyone talk about. I wasn't even gonna watch it. I was. Cause I'm not a huge Renee Zellweger fan, but I was at the library and I saw the cover and it was so pretty. So pretty. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a chance. Because I love movies about authors, and I was interested in learning about Beatrix Potter. So I was like, okay, I'll watch it. I won't like it. I fell in love with it. It is so charming, so cute, and so sweet. But it's sad. It's her real story based on her life, and it's not very long, which is good. And I was looking at the history, and they really didn't get anything wrong. Like maybe two facts, like her age, they got wrong, and then like how her husband, but how he dies. He dies. Spoiler alert. Sorry. Yeah, but anyway, so they got that wrong. But yeah, so I just spoiled a big plot thing. But yeah, I didn't tell you how. I'm gonna tell you what happened, but it's sad and it's uplifting and it's great. The only thing I don't like is her talking to characters in the book. Like, I don't like that. And them coming to life. I'm not a fan of that. Because it's like, yeah, it's based on her life. So can you not, like, make it gimmicky? Like, I don't like that. But it was kind of gimmicky, kind of not appropriate for the story of the movie. But the rest of it, I was like, yes, I like it. Last but not least is Beautiful Girls. I have to say The Rat by Rosie O'Donnell on Body Image, models, and magazine covers, and all that is one of my favorite rants of all time. Every time I watch it, it kills me. It does, because it's true, first of all, and the way that she's going off is hilarious. And it's like she's with Matt Dillon and she's with Michael Rappaport in this drugstore, and she's like a drugstore, grocery store kind of thing, and she's like walking around with them, and she's like lecturing them and like everything, and they have like two baskets, so she gives Michael Rappaport her basket, and she's just like tossing things in the back while she's like ranting, and he's catching them, hitting them. Like, it's the whole thing is just hilarious. It's hilarious and it's great. It's like really greatly choreographed, and it's hilarious to me. But also, again, it's shit. So, she's like, but it's funny, it's sweet, not really sad, but it's just like kind of real human situations. Like, these are real feelings, real problems that they are facing, not just like small things. It's like kind of life changing things. So it's kind of but it's like not sad at all. It's just like real life. Um, I love Matt Dillon. I watched it because of him. I'd seen it before, but I watched it again. He would trying to watch all of his movies, and I watched online. 'Cause I hadn't owned it, and I was like, I need this movie. So now I have it, and I've watched it a lot. It's just so good. So that is all for this. Goodbye.